As David already mentioned, Israel is involved in a multi-front war, but it's worse than what he said. Israel is fighting on the battlefield against Hamas in Gaza, against Hezbollah in Lebanon, against the Houthis in Yemen, against Iraq, against Syria, and against Iran, that is the mastermind of this entire regional conflict. In addition, Israel is being attacked by the media and social media. We see it in news outlets that we all once respected, like the New York Times, BBC, The Guardian, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, and the list goes on and on and on. Israel is fighting a war in academia and other intellectual spaces where Israel is being libeled and maligned as a villain, evil state by academics, intellectuals, and thought leaders across the West. And finally, Israel is under attack in international diplomacy and international law. One more. Israel is also fighting, and it's not just Israel, it's Israel and the whole Jewish people. We are fighting a war over history. We are fighting a war over history where our entire history is being twisted and undermined and lied about. While, thank God, we are winning the wars on the battlefields, it doesn't look like we're winning these other battles. It doesn't look like we're winning in the media or in social media. It doesn't look like we're winning in international law. It doesn't look like we're winning in academia. And the concern is real. Our entire story is being twisted and lied about and turned around in the most horrific and unimaginable ways. We just listened to a Holocaust survivor, and I don't know about you, but for me, my grandparents were all Holocaust survivors. And my understanding somehow of the Holocaust was that there was something different, perhaps, about the 1930s and 1940s human mind. I believed that something was wrong such that they were able, regular people, lawyers and doctors and journalists and politicians, were able to believe that the Jewish people were rats, that the Jewish people were shapeshifters, that the Jewish people had an impure blood that was going to destroy the world. Regular people believed this. The reality is that today, regular people in America, across Europe, all across the Middle East, across the entire world, our neighbors, our friends, our colleagues are starting to believe that the Jewish people are so evil that we are committing genocide, that we commit apartheid, that Zionism is synonymous with racism. These lies, and they are lies, and I think so many among us want to somehow, but they're misunderstanding something, there's something confused, well, maybe we really weren't really nice to those people, and so that's where they're getting. No, this is the same thing. It's the same thing. Jews are not rats, and Zionism is not fascism. Zionism is not Nazism, and Israel is not committing genocide. And we've been allowing these lies to continue for so long, really. It's not the first time. The charges of genocide against Israel began well before October 7th. On October 8th, they were in the streets screaming genocide. But the charges of genocide against Israel have been going on for decades. Of course there was no genocide. Guess what? There's no genocide now either. And so when you hear your friends mention, but maybe there's it is a tragedy that maybe up to 39,000 people in Gaza have been killed. It's important to note that at least a third of them are Hamas. At least a third. That means that the civilian to combatant death ratio in Gaza is 1 to 2 to 1. That's lower than any urban war in modern times. 9 to 1 is the average. This is not genocide. So, times are they're dire. We are truly facing an existential threat. Like, for real. Not just in Israel, which again, thank God they're winning this war, but in about 5 minutes, we're probably going to be at war with Lebanon. The Druze village is not going to accept that Israel not respond. The reality is, had this been an attack on Jewish kids, Israel may not have responded, because so many times there have been attacks on the Gaza envelope communities over the last 20 years, and Israel showed tremendous restraint. But the Druze community leaders have made it clear that if Israel does not respond forcefully, they will respond. They will not allow this attack to go with impunity. So it's a desperate time, and I'm constantly thinking about what we can do. So I'm just going to share my thoughts really quickly on what I think we need to do. For millennia, the Jewish people have been a light unto the nations. We gave the world monotheism. We gave the world the field of psychology. We've given the world cures and vaccinations to horrific diseases. We have given so many gifts to the nations of the world. It is time that the brilliant Jewish minds of our world and of our time turn their energy and their time and their light inward. We need to use whatever skills, money, talents, connections we have in order to focus on protecting our people, our history, our story, and our nation. That's what we need to do. So whatever your thing is, if you're a singer, write a song about Israel. Write a song about what we're really doing in this war, about the defensive nature of this war, and about the existential threats that we're facing. If you're a lawyer, contact organizations like the Brandeis Center and see about doing pro bono work on the side to help fight anti-Semitism on college campuses. If you're a speaker, speak about what's going on against our people. If you're a student, be an activist on your college campus. Whatever you are, whatever your skill, it is time. We don't have enough people. We're like this % of the world. There are over 20 Arab nations and over 50 Muslim majority countries. And the only thing that they seem to be doing is attacking us. So it is time that we start making sure that instead of using our talents and our brilliant minds on, desalinization of water, which is really important in Israel because they don't have enough water, we really need to start battling this battle that we are confronting. Thank you so much.
Thank you as always, Roy.